They warned you about Nietzsche, told you he was dangerous, misogynist, mad. They never told you he saw deeper than most ever dared. Not into women, but into men's illusions about them. You thought she was your savior, the angel in the storm. She would complete you. But he didn't fall in love with her. You fell in love with the story you built around her. She didn't write the script. You didn't. She only acted the part until it bored her. And when the curtain dropped, you called her deceptive. But she was never hiding. Nietzsche didn't expose women. He exposed men's fragile need to make women divine. Because if she's perfect, then you don't have to be. If she's whole, then you can stay broken. You clung to the idea of her, the good girl, the healer, the mirror. But Nietzsche knew the truth. You weren't seeking love. You were seeking anesthesia, a way to stop the ache inside, without having to touch its cause. Modern men are taught to worship what they fear losing. You fear losing her, so you call it love. But it's not love, it's submission. You give her your soul, not because she asked, but because you think surrender will make her stay. Nietzsche called this the sickness of modern love, where men hand over their power, wrapped in poetry and simping in songs. You've seen it. He texts too much. He waits for replies like a dog for scraps. He reshapes his life around her emotions, and he calls it devotion, but she calls it boring. Because control without challenge is dull. Because validation without effort is empty. She doesn't want your obedience. She wants your essence. But you've buried that under layers of fear. So now all you offer is performance. Nietzsche saw through it all. He said love has become theater. And most men, they're just desperate actors begging for applause. Some women don't lie with words. They lie with silence. They lie by letting you lie to yourself. She lets you believe she's fragile, innocent, but beneath the soft tone is calculation. Not cruelty. Strategy. She didn't invent this system. She adapted to it. You chase her heart. She maps your needs. You offer emotion. This isn't evil. This is evolution. You fought with weapons. She fought with wisdom. In Nietzsche's world, power never disappears. It only changes shape. You gave up dominance in the name of progress, but you never gave up control. You just stopped noticing how she took it back. Quietly, carefully, through tone, timing, absence. You thought she loved you. She loved being essential to you. That's not love. That's leverage. Men confuse softness for surrender. But real power never shouts. It whispers. It walks away and watches you follow. He saw their power more clearly than men ever dared. He said, beware the one who does not ask for control, because she already has it. You share your wounds, thinking you're connecting. She listens, not out of cruelty, out of survival. In her world, knowledge is armor. You give it freely, thinking it makes you deep. She measures your weakness, not to hurt you, but to position herself as the cure. You need her. She doesn't need you. That's the power you missed. You thought she was kind, she was calculating. You thought she was gentle, she was precise. You mistook the performance for the person. Here's what Nietzsche knew that terrifies you. You never wanted a woman, you wanted a mirror that loved you back. You gave her the pedestal, she took the view, and when she stopped reflecting your fantasy, you called her fake, but she never changed, she just stopped pretending. You wanted her to stay small, so you could feel big, but she grew, and your story couldn't contain her anymore. Now you're angry, not because she lied, but because she didn't need your truth to live. Nietzsche said man will destroy anything that exposes his illusions, even the woman he claims to love. You didn't lose her, you lost the fantasy. And now, you're face to face with yourself. That's not heartbreak. That's awakening. You thought love was about giving. She knew it was about timing. You thought she left because she stopped caring. She left because you've stopped being useful. That's what Nietzsche warned you about. Not her cruelty, but her clarity. You still don't get it. You think she plays games, she doesn't. She plays survival. In her world, emotion is a tool, not a truth. You say I love you to feel secure. She hears it and thinks, how can I use this? Not because she's heartless, because she's been trained to listen for power. You learn to fight with fists. She learned to fight with silence, timing, mystery, and she's better at it than you are. Because while you act out feelings, she studies them. Nietzsche said women do not seek truth. They seek influence. He wasn't insulting them. He was exposing you. You gave her your heart. She gave you structure. Ask yourself, what did she really give you? Warmth, support, maybe. But mostly, she gave you a role to play, protector, provider, and you performed it well. Not for her, but for how it made you feel. You weren't in love. You weren't in a trance. You said she was everything. She smiled. But deep down she knew. You don't see her. You see a vessel, a stage, a screen. Nietzsche said man doesn't want truth and love. He wants comfort. So you ignore her flaws, pretend her motives are pure, then call it loyalty. But self-delusion is not virtue, and no one rewards a man for losing himself in worship. She doesn't want a fan. She wants a frame. She frames her presence in mystery. You call it depth. But mystery is not magic. It's distance, control, an edge you chase but never reach. That's how she wins. Not by being better, by being unknown. You reveal your soul hoping to earn trust. She reveals just enough to make you chase. She doesn't need to lie. She lets your imagination do the work. You build the castle, she takes the throne, and then when she leaves, you ask, was anything real? Nietzsche would say, what was real was your need. You didn't fall for her. You fell into yourself, into a hole shaped like approval, validation, redemption. You wanted someone to carry your pain. She carried your ego until it weighed her down. Then she dropped it. Most men confuse being wanted with being needed. But she doesn't need you. She wants your attention, your time, your power. And when she gets it, she calibrates, she adapts, she ascends. While you dissolve, Nietzsche saw that power in its quiet form. He didn't call it evil. He called it clear. But you still live in a fairy tale, where women are healers, and men are broken kings waiting for rescue. It's pathetic. You don't even notice. When you trade your will for warmth, when you surrender direction for connection, when you abandon strength just to be chosen, she sees it, and once she sees it, she owns you. Not with chains, with choice, with subtle rewards. You obey, not because she told you to, but because she smiled when you did. This is the prison Nietzsche tried to break you out of, not a prison made by women, a prison built by your need. You want her to stay, so you shrink. You break yourself into pieces, then beg her to love the fragments. And when she doesn't, you cry betrayal. But she never asked for less of you. She asked for more presence, more purpose, more edge, not more sacrifice. Nietzsche wrote for the man who dares to see without illusions. He didn't warn you about women. He warned you about yourself, your desperation, your fantasy, your surrender. He begged you to stop dreaming, to stop needing her to complete you. Because until you do, you're not loving her. You're using her, and she knows it. Even if you don't, you think she wants your honesty. She wants your edge. You think she wants you to be soft? She wants you to be sure. She doesn't want to lead you. She wants to orbit you. But only if your gravity holds. Nietzsche saw it. He didn't say women were evil. He said they were elemental, like storms, like fire, powerful but indifferent. You can't win her by submission. You can't keep her by confession. Your tears don't move her. Your passion doesn't persuade her. She watches your actions. She watches your silence. She watches how you carry yourself when no one is watching you. And if what she sees feels smaller than how she sees herself, she leaves. Not out of cruelty, out of instinct. You think she's playing hard to get? She's measuring your worth. You think she's ignoring your messages. She's studying your reaction. You think she's testing your patience. She's testing your discipline. And you fail every time. Why? Because you chase. Nietzsche said that men fall into love. Women climb out of it. She doesn't chase euphoria. She chases elevation. And if being with you feels like standing still, she vanishes. But you keep thinking that loyalty will make her stay. Loyalty without power is weakness. And she sees weakness as danger. You want her to love your heart. She wants to trust your spine. You ask her what she wants. She waits to see if you already know. She won't tell you what to be. That's your job. She won't beg you to leave. She'll just leave when you don't. That's what Nietzsche meant. Not that women are cold, but that they are strategic. You love blindly. She loves conditionally. And conditions are not cruelty. They are clarity. But you keep trying to earn love by becoming less threatening. You dim your light to make her comfortable. You silence your truth to make her stay. But now she's bored. Now she's restless. Now she's gone. And you don't know why. You think love should be enough. But love, without respect, is servitude. She doesn't want a pet, she wants a partner. You romanticize sacrifice. She calculates outcome. You think losing yourself is noble. She thinks losing you was necessary. Nietzsche said, man shall be trained for war, and woman for the recreation of the warrior. Not because he saw her as lesser, but because he saw men forgetting their role. You're not here to be adored. You're here to build, lead, and conquer. But modern men confuse comfort with purpose. You want soft words, not sharp truth. You want her to worship your vulnerability. She wants to feel your certainty. You want to cry. She wants to feel safe. She won't say it, but she looks at you and silently asks, can you protect me from the world and from yourself? And if the answer is no, she chooses herself. This isn't hatred. This is the real rhythm between the sexes. She doesn't hate you. She resents your weakness. She doesn't betray you. She escapes your indecision. You gave her access, but you had no boundaries. You gave her loyalty, but no mission. She admired your love, but she didn't feel led by it. And Nietzsche warned you. He said man must become harder, not cruel, clear, centered, unshakable, because women don't follow love. They follow strength. And if you don't have it, no amount of affection will save you. She might cry when she leaves, but she'll still walk away, because her biology answers to survival, not sentiment. And you forgot that. You told her your dreams, but you didn't chase them. You talked about purpose, but you stayed passive. She heard your promises, but your actions stayed the same. She wanted to believe you, but her body doesn't follow beliefs. It follows truth. And the truth was, you weren't going anywhere. Nietzsche said the future belongs to the man who knows where he's going, not who feels deeply, not who hopes loudly, the one who walks forward, even when alone. That's the man she follows. That's the man she respects. And respect is the root. Without it, love dies. You tried to earn love, but you never became respectable. She's not cruel, she's conditioned. Nature wired her to survive, not to save you. If you crumble under pressure, she sees danger. If you beg her to stay, she feels trapped. You think romance will fix it. It won't. She doesn't want roses. She wants reassurance, not from your words, from your essence. Nietzsche understood that the sexes play different games. Men risk comfort for greatness. Women risk love for security. If you're unsure of who you are, she won't gamble her future on you. If you flinch when life tests you, she won't bet her children on your courage. It's not emotional, it's biological. And you keep failing the test. You thought she left because you weren't nice. But you were too nice. You thought being available was attractive, but you were always there, with nothing to offer. You gave your time. She wanted your ambition. You gave attention. She wanted direction. You gave her the version of you that needed her more than he needed himself. And she lost all desire. Nietzsche said man must rise above comfort and weakness. Because the world doesn't reward softness, it crushes it. You made her your purpose. She wanted to follow yours. She didn't ask for a servant, she wanted a sovereign. But you collapsed into her, instead of building beyond her. So she pulled away, not out of spite, out of necessity. Not because she's evil, but because she has to. She needs to feel your power, not your emotions. She needs to know, if the world burns, will you break, or will you rise? She will provoke you. She will challenge your beliefs. She will question your path, not to destroy you, to measure your strength. And most men fail. They try to argue. They try to please. They try to fix. She doesn't want to be fixed. She wants to feel anchored. Nietzsche saw that modern man has become tamed, domesticated, disconnected from his primal self. And that's why women keep walking away, because they can't respect a man who's forgotten how to lead. You want her to come back. She wants you to rise. You want another chance. She wants to see transformation. You can't trick her. You can't lie to her instincts. She doesn't listen to words. She listens to your life. If your life says weakness, she disappears. If your life says strength, she returns without a word. Nietzsche said man must will power, not plead for it, not ask for permission. Take it, live it. You don't need her validation, you need your mission. When you live by purpose, women notice, they align, they respect. But when you live to please, they disappear. And all the poetry in the world won't bring them back, because love without power dies, and men without purpose vanish. You've heard the truth, not the sugar-coated version, not the modern lies. The raw message Nietzsche tried to give, but no one listened. Now you know why she pulled away, why your softness repelled her, why your confusion turned her cold. She doesn't hate you, she just stopped seeing a future with you. But that ends today if you rise. You don't need her permission, you need your fire. You need your discipline, you need your will. Not for her, for yourself. Because the man who becomes his purpose doesn't chase, he leads. And when he leads, they follow, naturally. Subscribe to the Inner Citadel. This is the only place where you'll hear this. No filters, no weakness, just truth. Like the video, comment if you feel the shift, and share this with a man who needs to hear it before it's too late. The Citadel awaits. Only the few will enter. Will you?